Right. Okay. Hope you all can see the screen, right? I have shared that PowerPoint presentation with you. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Right, fine. So time series analysis, what we have basically discussed here, we use time series analysis to forecast the future. Basically, based on the past observations, if we want to predict the future, we want to make the use of time series analysis, right? That is the main purpose. So basically, in other terms, we can estimate the trend using time series analysis. Right. So far we have discussed that there are 4 trend estimation methods. Can you remember? Trend estimation methods. We told that there are 4. The first method was freehand method, right? These are the 4 ways where we can estimate the trend, or in other terms, how we can draw the trend line. The first method we used was freehand method, right? In freehand method, can you remember what we have done, how we have drawn the trend line? So in freehand method, based on the personal judgment, right? We, based on the observations and based on the personal judgment, we can draw the trend line, and therefore we can estimate the future amounts. And the second method we discussed was semi-average method.
Semi-average.
Yes. So in under semi-average method, what we have done was we have divided whatever our total observations into 2 groups, and then for each group we have calculated what? The average, right? And then we have found 2 points to be plotted on our diagram, and then we can draw the trend line based on the semi-average method. And the third method we discussed was least square method, right? Here what we have done was we developed a formula. Can you remember the formula for a straight line? What?
Yes, sir.
Y equals a plus
y equal to a plus bx.
Yes, good. So there we have discussed 2 formulas separately, how to get that a value in a time series analysis using least square method, and how to take the b value using least square method, right? There, can you remember, we have discussed 2 conditions. Time is whether is it qualitative or quantitative. Time, if we consider time, is it qualitative or quantitative? Shabir, is it qualitative or quantitative? Time?
So it's qualitative.
Yes, it is qualitative. So in order to deal with this least square method, we want to have 2 quantitative variables. Therefore, the time, which is a qualitative variable, we need to assign some quantitative values for that, right? There, it means we need to assign x values for each and every year, each and every period we have given. For an example, 2009, 2010, 2011. If the figures are like this, we need to assign some quantitative values, or we call them as x values. So when assigning these x values, there were 2 conditions we need to satisfy. One was what? These sigma x values should be equals to what? Ultimately, these sigma x values should be equals to 0. Right? 0. And there was another condition as well. Can you remember that? This is one condition, the sum of x should be equals to 0. The other condition is what? There should be an what? Equal gap. So these are the basically 2 conditions we need to satisfy when assigning x values. So then we have X values and we will have Y values. So based on those formulas, we will able to calculate the value of A and value of B, and hence build up the formula Y equal A plus B X. Right? So those are the things we have discussed so far under time series analysis. Right? And today we are going to discuss the fourth method, that is moving average method. Right? Right. So these things, and can you remember these four? If I drafted it as C, T, C, S, and I, these letters standards for what? What is the common name we can give for these? What?
Trend, long term.
What? So these are basically what? The components of a time series, right? The four components of a time series. T stands for what?
Trend.
Trend.
3, 4
C,
trend, long term. Trend
C
line.
is for cyclical variations.
Cyclic
variation.
variation.
And S is for seasonal
Stand for seasonal variation.
variations. And I is for irregular
Regular
Regular
variation.
variation.
right? Irregular variations. So these are the four components of a time series. When we talk about moving average method, this method is specifically used to eliminate this cyclical variations, right? Can you remember what does it mean by cyclical variations? Cyclical variations හැම අවුරුද්දෙම වෙන එකක්ද නැත්නම් අවුරුද්දකට වඩා වැඩි කාලයකදී වෙන එකක්ද මොකක්ද? Can you remember?
Long term variation.
Cyclical variation is a variation which we can observe between every 2 to 5 years, right? 2 to 5 years. අවුරුදු දෙකත් පහත් අතර කාලයක repeat වෙවි යන මොකක් හරි variation එකක් තියෙනවා නම් අපි ඒ වගේ variation තමයි අඳුනගන්නේ මොකක් කියලාද? cyclical variations කියලා. එහෙනම් cyclical variations eliminate කරන්න තමයි අපි moving average method එක පාවිච්චි කරන්නේ. Right. So example, right. I hope we have discussed up to example number 4, right? Right. Here, can you read this slide? What is there under moving average method? What it says, in this method, what we need to do? A series of arithmetic means. Series of arithmetic means of successive observations known as moving averages are calculated from the given data. What we basically do here under moving average method is we are supposed to calculate mean, right? Arithmetic mean. I will tell how to do this with an example. And the second point, what it says, this method completely eliminates the cyclical fluctuations. I have told you that there are 4 components in a time series. If we need to especially eliminate cyclical variations and then estimate the trend, we can go for the moving average method, right? That is a special scenario. If we want to move cyclic, or if we want to eliminate cyclical variations, especially we can go for moving average method. Here we need to deal with this word order. So order means basically number of elements. If we come across this with this word order, it means the number of elements in a group, right? Number of elements in a group. Right. And in the last 2 points, it discuss how to calculate moving averages and moving totals. So we will do it with the example. Right. Example number 5. Right? Example number 5. If you need to have any clarifications, please raise it down.
Okay, sir.
Right. Still hope you have no any doubts, and we can move to example number 5. Again, I want to reassure whether you have seen my screen and can you hear me? People online?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, we
Okay.
can.
Okay. Right. Example number 5. It says, consider the numbers 40, 60, 20, 70, 90, 80, and 40. And part 1, we asked to calculate the moving totals of order 3 and moving averages of order 3. Right. Moving totals and moving averages. The values given are 40, 60, 20, 70, 90, 80, and 40. We need to calculate moving total of order 3 and moving average of order 3. This is what we need to calculate. Moving totals of order 3 and moving average of order 3. Right. Moving total of order 3. What does it mean by order? I have told you. Order. What does this word stands for? Order. What does it mean? If it is order 3, what do you mean by it? If we consider a particular group, there should be how many elements? There should be how many elements? If I say order 3, as in part 1, how many elements should be there? Basir, how many elements should be there? Anusha, I have unmuted you to answer. Shabir, if I say order 3, how many elements should be there in a particular group?
So 6.
Order means what? Number of elements in a group. So if it is order 3 in our group, there should be how many elements? There should be 3 elements. So moving total of order 3. So when taking moving totals and moving average, one special thing we need to keep in mind is whatever the totals or whether it is averages, we want to write it in front of the middle value. So if we consider first group, right? If we consider the first group, this one, 40, 60, and 20. 40, 60, and 20. So what is the total of this group? This is why I say this is order 3 means I have considered only 3 elements. So that is why I called it is as order 3. So I want to have the total of this. That is what I am called moving total. So what is the total of this? 40 plus 60 plus 20. The total is 120. See where I have written this total, it is in front of the middle value. So in middle we have 60. So in front of that value I have taken the total, right? Always if you are going to consider a particular group, you want to write the totals and averages in front of the middle value, right? So this is the moving total. Then what I am going to do is I am going to move this group like this. Now what is the total? It is still order 3. Why? There are only 3 elements and I have moved it one step forward. So now what is the total? It should be 60 plus 20 plus 70. Here. Is here? Right? Like that way. Then again, I am going to move this. I am going to ignore the first one and I am going to add a value from below. So what is the total here now? What is the moving total? That is why we are called it is moving, right? Once we consider a particular total, then we want to ignore the previous one and we need to take a latter one, right, to our group. And always we need to maintain the order. If it is order 3, there can be only 3 elements. So what is the total here? 20 plus 70 plus 90, 180, right? Then again one step. Now what is the total? It should be 240, right? And then again, if we go for the last step, the total should be 210, 90 plus 80 plus 40. So that is how we can take the moving totals. Clear?
Yes, sir. Clear.
Okay, Sanjula, clear?
Clear, sir. Clear.
Right. Then we need to take the moving averages, right? Moving averages. So here, as per slide, the last point, moving average refers to the arithmetic mean of the above total. It means the average of these totals we need to consider as moving averages. We can take or we can generate moving averages by dividing the moving total by the order. So moving total is this 120. We need to divide it by order. The order is, what is the order value here? Order is 3, right? Moving totals divided by the order. It is 40. Clear? So here, what is the moving average? 150 divided by 3, it should be what? 50. Right? Moving total එක අපේ order එකෙන් බෙදන්න තියෙන්නේ. Right? Here 180 divided by 3, it should be 60. Then 240 divided by 3, it should be 80. 80 divided by 3, it should be what? 70. So this is our answer, right? Moving totals and moving averages of order 3. That is the answer for part 1. Right. Part 2. In part 2, we have asked to calculate the moving totals of order 5 and moving averages of order 5. Moving totals of order 5 and moving averages of order 5. Now it is order 5. If it is order 5, how many elements should be there in our group?
5.
5. So
5
we
elements.
need to consider first 5 elements initially, right? Order 5 means there should be 5 elements, right? That is what it basically means. So what is the total here? Now I need your answers. Sanjula, what is the total? Total means 40 plus 60 plus 20 plus 70 plus 90. $280.
80.
280.
80. Okay, if I write this value here, is it correct?
No.
No.
No. Why? The moving totals and moving averages we need to always write in front of what? in
Middle.
front of the
20.
in
Middle.
front
for middle.
of the middle value. So if this is my first group, the middle value is 20.
20.
So in front of that middle value, I want to have my totals and averages, right? What happens otherwise is the area where we are going to plot these amounts will be different, right? You will understand it with example number 6, right? Then how to take the value here for this cell? We need to go one step forward, right? We are going to ignore the first one and we are going to take into account one after that group, right? Now what is the total? Total means 60 plus 20 plus 70 plus 90 plus 80. The total is 320.
20.
Okay,
Then 20.
right. Then what I need to do? Again, I need to consider another group. I want to move my group, right? One step forward. Now what is the moving total?
300.
Moving total means the sum of these 5 values, 300, right? Can I move it like this now? If I move it like this, what will happen?
1 is missing.
Yes, exactly. So we need to consider the totals and averages of order 5. If I consider this as my group, what is the order here? There are
4.
only 4 elements.
4.
We do not want to have order 4 values. We need to have order 5 values. So we
5.
need to stop from here. We can't
Yeah.
go beyond, right? So these are the moving totals of order 5. Right. Then what should be the moving average here? $280 need to be divided by what value?
5.
5.
5.
Right. So it is 56.
5.
6.
Here
56.
320 we need to divide by 5. 60.
6. 4.
300 need to be divided by 5. The answer is 6.
64.
So this
60.
is, yes, this is the answer for
60.
part 2, right? This is the answer for part 1 and part 2, right? That is how we generate moving totals and moving averages. The there are 2 things we need to remember. Always we need to take into account the order given. If it is order 3, there should be only 3 elements. If it is order 5, there should be only 5 elements. If it is order 4, there should be only 4 elements, like that wise, right? And the other thing is the sums and totals of these orders we need to write in front of the middle value. If this is my first order or first group, the middle value is 60. Therefore, the total and the average I need to write in the middle. Clear? Right? Moving totals and moving averages of order 5. Right? I want your response. Did you understand how to generate these moving totals and moving orders? Sorry, moving averages.
Yes, sir.
Yes, okay, sir.
Right. Okay. So that is example number 5. Right. Example number 6.
So-
Yes.
So there is a doubt. If they give an order as like a 4, then how can we find the middle ones?
Right. So there. So so we will discuss it further in practice question 4. I have given this order 4 way. Right. It is a bit different to this odd number of orders, order 3, order 5. So we will discuss it at last. Huh? Right. Order 4 we will discuss.
Okay.
So the way we need to arrange these values also differs when it is order 4. Right. So like this, we cannot
Okay.
arrange when it is order 4. We can take, or we can arrange as this when it is order 3 or order 5 only. When it is order 4, the things are totally different. Right. Okay. Can we move to example number 6?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, example 6. Right. What it says is, the sales manager of the apparel division has collected the following data regarding the average monthly sales revenue for his division during the years 2008 to 2018. 2008 ඔය කියන අවුරුදු ගණන් වල එක එක අවුරුද්දේ එයාගේ sales revenue එක දෙනවා එයාගේ division එකේ. Right. First, we need to plot these data on a graph. Now it is easier for me since I'm using Excel. Right. Example number 6. So this is the set of information they have given. Right. Years and the revenues. Right. So from 2008 to 2018, the revenues are given. Right. First, we need to draw a scatter diagram using these data. Right, we will get something like this. Can you see?
Yes, sir.
Right, this is our scatter plot diagram, right? So I will do certain alignments here. Right, so this is the scatter plot diagram, right? In 2008, 113, 2009, 93, 2010, 106, like that. Right, we have done with the scatter plot diagram. Right, then what it asks for is calculate the moving average of the appropriate order. Plot them on the same graph and draw the trend line, right? So using the moving average method, we need to draw the trend line. That is what they ask for, right? If we are supposed to use the moving average method, what we need to do, what we need to know, basically, what is our order? Api moving average method එකට නම් trend line එක අඳින්නේ අපි අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම දැනගන්න ඕන අපේ order එක කීයද? ඒක 3ද 4ද 5ද කීයද කියලා අපි දැනගන්න ඕන. හැබැයි මේ ගානේ විශේෂත්වය මොකද්ද? they haven't told about the order we need to consider. What they have asked is calculate the moving averages of what? The appropriate order, right? Appropriate order එකක් consider කරලා moving averages හොයන්න කියලා තමයි කියන්නේ. එතකොට order එක කීයද කියලා අපි decide කරන්න ඕන. order එක ගානේ අපිට straight forward දීලා නැහැ. කලින් ගාන නම් මොකද්ද? order 3 average of order 5 average moving totals of order 5 moving averages of order 5 order එක දුන්නා. හැබැයි example number 6 වල අපිට කියන්නේ order එක කීයද කියලා. Right? They have not given us the order. We need to determine the order. We need to determine the appropriate order. Right? By looking at this diagram or by looking at this scatter plot diagram, tell me what is our order? What should be our order? Is it 3? Is it 4? Is it 5 or something else? What can you say? Because if you are supposed to determine the order, what will you consider? 3, 4, 5, 6, what?
3.
Yes, good. Why 3? But 3 is not the answer. Why 3? Just you thought 3 is better. It is easy to calculate, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Right. So, can you remember? I have told this earlier. This moving average method, we used especially for what? Moving average method is especially used to eliminate what? To eliminate which variations? Seasonal variations.
cyclical variation.
Yes, cyclical variations. Cyclical variations කියන්නේ මොනවද? අවුරුදු දෙකක් පහක් අතර කාලයක් තුල repeat වෙවි යන variations. එහෙනම් මෙතන cyclical variation එකක් අපිට බලා ගන්න පුළුවන් අවුරුදු කීයෙන් කීයටද? That is how we need to decide the order, right? So, in which frequency we can observe a cyclical variation by looking at these values, these plotted areas or plotted observations. But so here, look at this. What happens in 2009? Suddenly the sales has gone down, and from the next year onward, it has back to its normal selling, right? එකපාර 2008 ඉඳන් 2019 sales අඩු වෙනවා. ආයෙ 2010 දී sales normal situation එකට එනවා. එහෙනම් 2009 එහෙම දෙයක් වෙලා, right? So 2009, right? 2009 we can identify or we can assume that there is a cyclical variation occurred in 2009. ඔය වගේ දෙයක් ආයෙ වෙලා තියෙන්නේ කවද්ද? Right? 2009 suddenly sales has gone down, and again in 2009 sales has gone up to its normal selling values. ඒ වගේ එකක් ආයෙ වෙලා තියෙන්නේ මොන අවුරුද්දද? 2011 වෙලා නැහැ.
2012.
What? 2014. Right? Suddenly the sales has gone down, and again sales has back to its normal selling values. In 2014, again we can observe the same variation. එකපාර අඩු වෙලා ආයි ඊළඟ අවුරුද්දේ වැඩි වෙලා. එකම variation එක. එහෙනම් ඊළඟට මේ වගේ දෙයක් වෙන්න පුළුවන් අවුරුද්ද මොකද්ද? 2009 වල වුණා, 2014 වල වුණා, 2018 2019. 2019 also we can expect that again this value will be gone down, and from 2020 onwards it will back to its normal position. So by looking at this, now tell me, now it is easy. Now what should be our order? Now what should be our order?
5.
5.
5.
Yes.
Order 5.
5. Yes, sir.
Yes.
5.
Order should be 5, right? That is how we are going to determine the order if the order is not given. Order එක මෙන්න මේකයි කියලා හරියටම දීපු නැති වෙලාවක ඔය විදිහට තමයි අපි අපේ order එක determine කරගන්න ඕන. Cyclical variations එන්නේ අවුරුදු කීයෙන් කීයටද? මෙතන නම් අවුරුදු 19 එකපාරක් ආයෙ වෙලතින් 2014 අවුරුදු 5න් 5ට. එහෙනම් අපේ order එක වෙන්න ඕන 5. ඇයි? Moving average method අපි පාවිච්චි කරන්නේ විශේෂයෙන්ම ඔය කියන cyclical variations eliminate කරන්න. Right? That is the reason. Right. Now it is easy. This was the difficult part, determining the appropriate order. Now we have determined that moving total of order 5. Clear? අපි order එක determine කරගත්ත විදිය පැහැදිලිද?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Right. Right. Moving totals of order 3 and moving average of order 5. Moving average. Right. Now this is easy. Now you can calculate these values, moving totals and moving averages. Right. Again, I will use the shape. Right. If it is order 5, how many elements should be there in one group? There should be
5 elements.
5 elements. Yes.
5.
අපි consider කරන්න ඕන මොන elements පාද. දැන් අපිට columns දෙකක් තියෙනවා. Year column එකයි revenue column එකයි කියලා columns දෙකක් තියෙනවා. මම consider කරන්න ඕන මෙන්න මේ පහද. Right. මම consider කරන්න ඕන මෙන්න මේ පස් දෙනාගේ values ද නැත්නම් අය කියන revenue values ද. මේ දෙකේ මොකක්ද?
Revenue values.
Moving totals of
Sir,
order 5 කියලා
revenue
මම
values.
yes.
Revenue
We need to
values.
consider the revenue totals and revenue
Revenue.
averages. Right. So this is my first group. Group consists with 5 elements. What is the total? 113 plus 93 plus 106, 109 plus 98. The total is 590.
590.
Right. Then ඊට පස්සේ value එක ගත්ත විදිය මතකද? කොහොමද ගත්තේ? මුලින් ඉන්න එක්කෙනා අතෑරියා ඊට පස්සේ ඉන්න එක්කෙනෙක් අපේ group එකට දාගත්තා. Right. Now this is our new group. So we need to consider the total. Total means the sum of these 5 values. 502. We have written right this the total where in front of the middle value. පහක් තියෙන තැන middle value එක 109. එයාගේ කෙලින් තමයි මම A group එකේ total එක ලියාගත්තේ. Right? Right. Again, one step forward. So this is my new group. So I need to consider the total of my new group. The sum of these 5 elements, it is 494.
4.
Again, one step forward. Total in front of the middle value, the total is 485. Again, one step forward. The total is 480. Again, one step forward, the total is 484. Again, this is the last step we can go for, right? So the total in our last group is 475. මට තව group එකක් form කරන්න පුළුවන්ද? මට තව step එකක් මෙහෙම යන්න පුළුවන්ද? බෑ. ඇයි? එහෙම ගියොත් order 5 නෙමෙයි. එතකොට order කීය වෙනවද? Order 4 වෙනවා.
4.
Here we need to consider the order 5 totals and order 5 averages. Right. Order 5. Right. Moving average of order 5. Then to have moving averages, this 519 need to be divided by what value?
5.
need to be divided by 5. So the moving average is 103.8. 502 need to be divided by, again, order 5. 100.5.
Okay, 5.
Right here,
40.
98.8. 97, 96, 96.8,
97,
475.95.
96.8.
95.
Right.
Okay, moving totals and moving averages. Right? So we have done the
Yes, sir.
initial part, calculate the moving averages of the appropriate order. That is what we have done so far, right? We have determined the appropriate order and we have calculated the totals and the averages. Okay, then what we need to do? Still we haven't drawn the trend line. අපි අනිත් හැම method එකෙම trend line එක අඳින විදිය කතා කරන්නේ. මේ method එකේ අපිට පුළුවන් වෙන්න ඕන trend line එකක් අඳින්න. තාම trend line එක අපි ඇඳේ නැහැ. ඊළඟ point එකේ අපිට අපෙන් අහන්නේ ඒක. Plot them on the same graph and draw the trend line. ඔය ආපු points ටික අපේ graph එකේ plot කරලා අපිට trend line එක අඳින්න කියලා කියන්නේ. Right? Okay. So this is our graph, right? මේක තමයි අපි initial ආපු graph එක. Right. දැන් අපි කොහොමද මෙන්න මේ observations plot කරන්නේ? අපි plot කරන්න ඕන මෙන්න මේ observations ටික. Right? ඒකයි මම කිව්වේ හැමතිස්සෙම අපි order එක අපි group එකක් consider කරද්දී ඒ group එක මැදින් totals averages ලියා ගන්න කියලා. Right? එම ලියාගත්තේ නැත්නම් වෙන්නේ අපි මෙන්න මේ 103.8 ගිහිල්ලා plot කරන තැන වරදිනවා. හදිස්සියෙන්වත් අපි මේ total average මේ column එකේ ලියාගත්තොත් අපි 103.8 කියන value එක ගිහිල්ලා plot කරන 2009 අවුරුද්ද ඉස්සරහට. එහෙම කරොත් වැරදි. අපි හැමතිස්සෙම ඒක නිසා තමයි අපි හැමතිස්සෙම ඔය කියන totals averages අපේ group අපි consider කරන group එකේ මැද තියෙන value එක ඉස්සරහින් හැමතිස්සෙම ලියාගන්නේ. නැත්තම් වෙන්නේ අපි ගිහිල්ලා graph එකේ අන්තිමට plot කරන තැන වරදිනවා. Right? Right. So we need to plot these areas on our graph. In 2010, 103.8. In 2010, 2010 අවුරුද්දේ අපි ගිහිල්ලා plot කරන්න ඕන 103.8. Means somewhere here. 103.8 in 2010. Can you see the red point on our graph? අපි ඒක කරේ මොකද්ද? 2010 අවුරුද්දේ 3.8 ගිහිල්ලා plot කරා. Right. In 2011, we need to plot the value of 100.4.
4.
In 2011, this is 2011, 100.4. Somewhere here, right? Almost like 100. Like that way, in 2012, we need to plot 98.8. 2012, 2012 අවුරුද්දේ 98.8ක් plot කරන්න ඕන. Right? Like that way. 2013, we need to plot 2013, 2013 we need to plot 97.
7.
97. 2013, 97. Right. 2014, 96. 2014 wala 96. Somewhere here. 2015, 96.8. 2015 wala 96.8. 2016, last one, 95. 2016 wala 95, right? Somewhere here, right? Now, can you see in the initial scatter plot diagram what has happened? There we have observed so many variations. Ape variations godak apita ape observations wala tibba. Api initially plot karapu scatter plot diagram එකේ. හැබැයි moving averages හොයාගෙන ඒව plot කරාට පස්සේ මොකද වෙලා තියෙන්නේ? Variations අර කලින් තිබ්බ තරම් variations දැන් නැහැ. Variations පුළුවන් තරමක් දුරට අපි අඩු කරලා තියෙනවා. Right? Now we can draw the trend line based on the newly plotted areas by making the use of moving averages. මේ moving averages base කරගෙන plot කරපු තැන් දිහා බලලා අපිට trend line එක අඳින්න පුළුවන්. Right? So this is how we draw the trend line using the moving average method. Moving average method එක පාවිච්චි කරලා trend line එක අඳින්න කිව්වොත් ඔය විදිහට තමයි අපි trend line එක අඳින්නේ. Right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. එතකොට now moving average method එක පාවිච්චි කරලා trend line එක අඳින්නම් what are the steps we need to follow? First we need to determine the order. If it is not given, order එක දීලා නැත්නම් අපි order එක determine කරගන්න ඕන. order එක දීලා තියෙනවා නම් ඒ කියපු order එක අපි consider කරනවා. Consider කරලා we need to calculate the moving totals and moving averages. Then based on the moving averages අපි ඒ cal කරගත්ත moving averages base කරගෙන ඒක අපේ diagram එකේ ඒ points ටික plot කරන්න තියෙනවා. ඊට පස්සේ ඒ plot අලුතෙන් plot කරපු points ටික බලලා අපිට අපේ trend line එක අඳින්න පුළුවන්. Right? Okay. Clear? How to draw the trend line using the moving average method. So that those are the steps we need to follow. Clear? Vikas, Dilakshan, Shabir, Sanjula.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. It's clear.
Yes, clear,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Right. So, what if the order is 4? Order 3 නම් order 5 නම් අපිට totals averages cal කරන්න ප්‍රශ්නයක් නැහැ. හැබැයි order එක if it is order 4 උනොතින් අපිට කොහොමද මේ විදිහට trend line එක අඳින්න පුළුවන්? අපිට කොහොමද මේ කියන moving totals moving averages cal කරන්න පුළුවන්? Right? That is, in order to understand that, we need to do practice question number 4. Practice question number 4. Practice question. Right. Again, for the following series of observations, calculate the trend values by the method of moving averages assuming 4 yearly cycle. අපිට මෙතනත් අර කෙලින්ම order කියන වචනේ දෙන්නේ නැහැ. අපිට කියන්නේ මොකද්ද? Calculate the we need to draw the trend line using the method of moving average assuming what? 4 yearly cycle.
4 years cycle.
It means we need to consider order what? Order 4. 4 yearly cycle. අවුරුදු 4කට සැරයක් තමයි ඔය කියන cyclical variations පෙන්වනවා ඇත්තේ. එහෙනම් අපේ order එක වෙන්න ඕන order 4. Right. Practice question number 4. Right. Here, the way we are going to arrange our data set is bit different to than the previous way. So order 3, order 5 arrange කරපු විදිහට නෙවෙයි අපි මේ table එක arrange කරන්න ඕන. පොඩ්ඩක් වෙනස්. Here, what we need to do is we need to let the first two figures and last two figures අපේ මේ තියෙන පළවෙනි observations දෙකයි අන්තිම observations දෙකයි අපි හැමතිස්සෙම එක ළඟ තියන්න ඕන. එහෙම තියලා ඉතුරු හැම observation එකක් ළඟින්ම we need to have a gap. අපි ඉතුරු හැම observation එකක් ගාවින් gap එකක් තියෙන විදිහට තමයි අපේ table එක arrange කරගන්න ඕන. Right? It means 2006 and 2007 together. And this, after that, we need to have a gap. Right? Like this. ඊට පස්සේ අපි ගාව තියෙන හැම observation එකක් ගාවින්ම gap එකක් තියෙන විදිහට තමයි අපි මේ data ටික arrange කරගන්න ඕන. When it is order 4. Right? Order 4 නම් විතරයි මෙහෙම කරන්නේ. මෙහෙම කරන්නත් හේතුව අපි කෙලින්ම ඔය table එක තියෙන විදිහටම consider කරලා අපි averages total හෙව්වොතින් අපි ඔය averages ගිහලා plot කරන තැන කියන්නේ plot කරන අවුරුද්ද වෙනස් වෙන්න තියෙන probability එක වැඩි. ඒක නිසායි අපි මේ විදිහට වේලාසනින් ඔක arrange කරගන්නේ. Right? This is how we are going to arrange it. කලින් නම් අපි 2006 7 8 9 10 පිළිවෙලට පල්ලෙහාට ඔක්කොම ටික එකපාර ලියාගෙන ගියා. හැබැයි මෙතනදී අපිට එහෙම බෑ. ඇයි? order 4 නිසා. order 4 වෙනකොට අපි arrange කරගන්න ඕන මේ විදිහට. පළවෙනි observations දෙක එක ළඟ. ඊට පස්සේ හැම observation එකක් ගාවින්ම we need to have a gap, right? 2018 8 observation එක තියෙනවා ඊට පස්සේ gap එකක්. 2009 observation එක තියෙනවා ඊට පස්සේ gap එකක්. 10 තියෙනවා ඊට පස්සේ gap එකක්. Like that. Right. මෙතෙන්දී අපි කලින් නම් අපිට ආපු columns දෙක මොනවද? What were the two columns we have considered in previous examples? We had the moving total column and a moving average column.
Average column.
Right. Here we need to consider the moving total of order 4.
4.
Right. Moving total of order 4. Right. Order 4. Order 4. පළවෙනි order 4 පළවෙනි group එකේ මට moving total එක කියන්න බලන්න. What should be the moving total of order 4 in our first group? පළවෙනි හතර දෙනා. So this is our first group, order 4. Order 4 means there should be only 4 elements in our group, right? 1, 2, 3, and 4. What is the total?
174.
Right? 39 plus 45 plus 40
174.
plus 48. 174.
4.
Right? 174. Right? See where I have written this, right? This is very important. අපිට මේ moving totals, moving averages අපිට කැමති තැන් වල ලියන්න බෑ. අපි ඒක ලියන්න ඕන හැමතිස්සෙම කොහෙද? අපේ මැද තියෙන figure එක කෙලින්. If we consider this 4, we assume මේ දෙවෙනි ඔබ්සර්වේෂන් එකයි තුන්වෙනි ඔබ්සර්වේෂන් එකයි මැද. right? අපේ තියෙන අපේ ඕඩර් එක 4 නම් අපේ මැද වෙන්න ඕන දෙවෙනි ඔබ්සර්වේෂන් එකයි තුන්වෙනි ඔබ්සර්වේෂන් එකයි කියන ඔබ්සර්වේෂන්ස් දෙකේ මැද තියෙන තැන. ඒකයි අපි මෙතන විශේෂයෙන්ම කියලා මොකක් කරන්නද? ගැප් එකක් තියන්නේ. right? ඒ ගැප් එක කෙලින් තමයි අපේ ඕඩර් එක ලියවෙන්න ඕන. right? We want to write always the totals and averages in front of the middle value. Right? Between second and third observation, we need to write 174, the total. Right. Then the next group, 39 we are going to ignore and we are going to take into account 51. මේක තමයි අපේ අලුත් group එක. Moving අපි එක step එකක් move කරා. දැන් අපේ total එක කීයද?
186.
Right. Can I write the total here? මට මේ column එක ලියන්න පුළුවන්ද? Moving total? Can I write the moving total here? The total is
No.
the total is 186. Can I write it here? මම මෙතන ලියුවොතින් හරිද?
No. Nah.
නෑ. කොතනද ලියවෙන්න ඕන? Where I should write it? 186 should be where? කොතනද? Where I should write 186?
Next column.
Below that.
Middle,
Yes.
middle of the
Middle of 2008 and
42 and
2000,
2009.
right?
Yes, sir.
Right. So
2009.
it's very crucial. It is very important. Always you need to write the totals and averages in front of the middle value. කොච්චරවත් කියන්නේ ගොඩක් කොච්චර කිව්වත් ඔක එක්සෑම් එකේ එක එක තැන් වල ලියන්න. right? එහෙම ලිව්වොත් අපි අර ගිහලා ෆොට් කරන තැන graph එකේ වර්ධිනවා. ඒ වැරදුනා කියලා කියන්නේ ගාන වැරදි. Right. Again, we are going to move. Now what is the total?
199.
199. See where I have written it. Between 2009 and 2010. Second observation nekai, third observation nekai, math. Right. Again, I'm going to move this. This is my new group. I want to have the total again. 48 plus 51 plus 58 plus 52. 209.
209.
Again, I'm going to move this. This is my new group. Write the total in front of the middle value. The total is 220. We need to write this in between 2011 and 2002. Right. Right. Again, I'm going to move my group. Now my moving total should be 235. Again, I'm going to move my total. Now my total is 237. Again, I can move it. So here the total should be 249. For the last time also, this is the last group I can consider. මෙතනින් එහාට මට ආයෙ යන්න බෑ. මෙතන total එක මම ලියන්න ඕන කොතනින්ද? Where I should write the total here, the moving total of my last group should be in between
Middle of 2015 and
2016
2016.
2016.
15 and 2016.
2015 මැද තියපු ගැප් එක කෙලින් තමයි ඔය ෆිගර් එක ලියවෙන්න ඕන moving total. Clear? Right. That is how we generated moving totals. Can you remember what we have done next? කලින් නම් මොකද්ද අපි කරේ? After calculating moving totals, we have calculated moving
Average. Order to average total flow.
But when it is order 4, we need to have centered moving total column. Centered moving total of order 4. කලින් order 3 order 5 කතා කරද්දී අපි ගාව තිබ්බේ moving total column එකයි moving average column එකයි විතරයි. හැබැයි order 4 වෙද්දී moving total කැල් කරාට පස්සේ අපි වෙනම කැල් කරන්න ඕන තව එකක්. ඒ තමයි centered moving total of order 4. Right? This is something new when it is order 4. Right? Order 4 වෙද්දී මේක අලුතෙන් එන part එකක්. අපි centered moving total of order 4 කියලා we need to have a column. Right? Right. Centered moving total. How can we calculate that? Centered moving total of order 4. Right. If I consider this, what is the total of these two observations? මේ observations දෙකේ total එක කීයද?
360. 360.
360.
360.
Right. Where I should write this total? අපේ basic අපි වෙනස් කරන්නේ
cell
අපි
seven.
හැමතිස්සෙම totals averages ලියන්න ඕන අපේ values අපේ මොන value එක ඉස්සරහින්ද middle value එක ඉස්සරයි මෙතන මැද ඉන්නේ මොකද්ද middle is here right
Cell 7.
right between 174 and 186 we need to have the centered moving total. This is what you call centered moving totals, right? මෙතෙන්දී අපි කරන්නේ අපි අර කලින් කැල් කරගත්ත moving totals දෙන්න consider කරනවා. දෙන්න consider කරලා ඒ දෙන්නගේ center එකකින් අදාළ totals ලියනවා, right? So this is the first centered moving total of order 4. Right? ඊළඟ එක නම් මොකද වෙන්න ඕන? Then it should be like this. Then we need to consider 186 and 199. If I consider this, what is the centered moving total of this? So දෙන්න consider කරන එකේ total එක තමයි අපි කියන්නේ centered moving total කියලා. මේ දෙන්නගේ total එක කීයද?
Cell 9.
380.
385.
385.
See where I have written it. I have written it between 186 and 199. 186 199 මැද තියෙන මේ gap එක කෙලින් තමයි මම මේ total එක ලියාගත්තේ. Right? Like that way we need to find the centered moving total. ඊට පස්සේ මේ දෙන්නගේ total එක. Right?
408.
408.
Then this two.
429.
429.
429.
Then this one.
429.
455. Then this. 472. Then this. 480.
86.
This one.
500.
509.
509. Right? So those are what we call centered moving totals. Right? Centered moving totals. කලින් අහුනේ නැති order 4 කැල් කරද්දී විශේෂම අහුවෙන තැනක් තමයි මේ centered moving totals අපි කැල් කරගන්න ඕන. Right. Okay. Then we need to calculate centered moving averages of order 4. Right? Centered moving averages of order 4. නිකම්ම moving averages කියලා ගත්තා. But here, after calculating moving totals of order 4, then we need to have a separate column called centered moving total of order 4, and then we need to have our final column centered moving averages of order 4. Right. centered moving average එක ගන්න ඕන. It means I need to divide by a particular figure. 360 need to be divided by something. What is that figure? මට මෙතෙන්ට එන්න ඕන answer එක ගන්න. මම මේ කියන centered moving total එක බෙදන්න ඕන කීයෙන්ද? මම මේ කියන 360 බෙදන්න ඕන කීයෙන්ද? 360 need to be divided by what figure? Is it 4? Is it 5? Is it 6? What? Is it 2? දෙකෙන්ද හතරෙන්ද?
Is it 4?
6.
If I divided by 4, is it right? 90.
6.
What do you think? මම මෙතන centered moving average of order 4 කියලා 90 consider කරොත් මම හරිද? මේ figure එක හරිද? 90. What do you think? Right. How this 360 has been formed? මේ 360 හැදුනේ කොහොමද? 360 means the sum of this, isn't it? 360 හැදිලා තියෙන්නේ කොහොමද? 174යි 186යි කියන දෙකේ
186
දෙකේ එකතු වේ. The sum of 174 and 186 will form 360.
60.
Right. එහෙනම් 360 කියන figure එක ඇතුලේ how many elements are there? මේ 360 කියන figure එක ඇතුලේ elements කීයක් තියෙනවද? 360 හැදිලා තියෙන මේ දෙන්න එක එකතු වේ. Tell me in this 174 මේ 174 කියන figure එක ඇතුලේ how many elements are there?
2
In this 174 how many elements are there?
2 elements. 4.
How many elements are there?
4.
මේ 170 හැදිලා තියෙන
4.
74 හැදිලා තියෙන elements කීයකින්ද? by 4 elements. මෙන්න මේ කියන හතර දෙනාගේ එකතුවෙන් තමයි 39 45 42 48. ඔය කියන elements හතරේ එකතුවෙන් තමයි we have got the answer 174. This 186 මේ 186 කියන figure එක ඇතුලේ how many elements are there?
4.
එයාගේ elements කීයක් තියෙනවද? 186 හැදිලා තියෙන්නේ කොහමද? It is the sum of 45, 42, 48 and 51. Again there are 4 elements. Right? 174 කියන එක්කෙනාගේ ඇතුලේ elements 4ක් තියෙනවා. 186 කියන එක්කෙනාගේ ඇතුලේ elements 4ක් තියෙනවා. නම් 360 කියන එක්කෙනාගේ ඇතුලේ elements කීයක් තියෙනවද? How many elements are there in total? මේ 360 කියලා කියන්නේ
5.
elements කීයක් එකතුවද?
5.
Right? It is 8. Right? Elements 8 360 කියලා කියන්නේ 8 දෙනෙක්ගේ එකතුව. Right? So we need to divide this centered moving total by වෙනස් වේ. Right? 174 කෙනාගේ ඇතුලේ 4 දෙනෙක් ඉන්නවා. 186 කෙනෙක් එක්කෙනාගේ ඇතුලේ 4 දෙනෙක් ඉන්නවා. එහෙනම් 360 කියලා කියන්නේ මේ දෙකේ එකතුව නම් එයාගේ ඇතුලේ කී දෙනෙක් එකතුව තියෙනවද? 8 දෙනෙක් එකතුව තියෙනවා. So if we need to take the centered moving average, we need to divide this figure by 8. That is how we can generate the average here. Clear? 360 කියලා කියන්නේ elements 8ක එකතුවක්. එහෙනම් එයා බෙදෙන්න ඕන 8. So here, what is the centered moving average? 385 we need to divide by 8. Here, 408 we need to divide by 8. Right?
8.
Centered moving averages. Right. Clear? Order 4 with the, what are the steps we need to do? First, we need to arrange it in a different way, right? The first two we need to consider together as well as the last two. පළවෙනි දෙන්නයි අවසාන observations දෙකයි අපි එක ළඟ consider කරනවා. And we need to leave a gap from each and every other observations. අනිත් හැම observation එකක් ගාවින්ම we need to leave a gap. අපි gap එකක් තියන්න ඕන. Right? Now, right. That is how we calculate centered moving averages or moving averages when it is order 4. Right? Method of moving averages. Right? So here, if we need to plot these in our diagram and draw the trend line, what are the points we should plot on our diagram? අපි මොනවද මොන ඒවද plot කරන්න ඕන අපේ graph එකේ?
2008 to 45.
Yes. In 2008, we need to plot the value 45. Right? And in 2009, we need to plot what? 2009, we need to plot 48.13. Like that way, in 2010, we need to plot what? 51. Yes. 2011, we need to plot 54. And in 2012, we need to plot 57.
7.
In 2013, we can plot 59.
9.
In 2014, we need to plot 60. And in 2015, we need to plot 64. Right? So these are the areas we need to plot on our graph. And by looking at these points, we can draw the trend line using the method of moving average. මෙන්න මේ areas ටික තමයි අපේ graph එකේ plot වෙන්න ඕන moving average method එක පාවිච්චි කරලා අඳිනවා නම් when it is order 4. And based on these observations, so these plotted points, we can draw the trend line, right? Using the moving average method. Clear? වැඩේ තේරුණාද? Order 3 වෙද්දි කොහොමද? Order 5 වෙද්දි කොහොමද? Order 4 වෙද්දි කොහොමද අපි
Yes, sir.
trend line එක අඳින්න කියලා. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that is what I basically plan to discuss today, right? So we have done with time series analysis. Hope we have discussed all these things. So these practice question 1, 2, and 3, those you can do at your home. So practice question 4 is the new thing that when it is order 4, how can we draw this trend line using the method of moving average? We have discussed that. And right. So hope you have understand the things we have discussed today. So how to draw these trends. So basically what we have discussed was how to draw the trend line using the method of moving averages. So I can see there are 25 participants. So that is actually more than what I have expected. So that is good, and I appreciate your positive attitude towards this. And right. So thanks for joining. And we'll see what we can do. If this is worth, we can continue for another session in a future date, right? Right. So I will take your comments later on. So thanks for joining, and I will upload these materials, these answers, these Excel sheets to your Google Classroom, so you can observe or you can take it from there. And I have recorded this video as well, so I will upload this audio. So this video to your Google Classroom. So those who have not joined then can go through this video and get some understanding. Right? So thanks for joining. I can see Kovalita is there,
Yes, thank you,
Dilakshan,
sir.
Atik, Apil, Shabir.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank
Thanks
you,
again. Right. So we will stop from there.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Itajar.